word supports for a long time until I decided that arts and cultures is as much a business sector as any other sector. The arts and culture right now, according to the DAC's research 2 years ago, that was made 2 years ago, brings in 2.9% of the GDP. That's huge. That's just a few percentage less than mining. It's not, mining is not even 4 at the moment, it's dropped. It's not even 4%. So can you imagine that we sit and we think mining is the biggest contributor to the GDP, but in actual fact, arts and culture is just below it. It creates millions of jobs every year. So if we don't support it monetary-wise, no, I also use the word support, but if we don't pay for it, and we don't recognize that it is actually necessary, then why does it have to bring so much money in? Because it's a lot of money that it brings in. And so that's the state, okay, that's where we are. It's a beautiful place to be in South Africa. You need to make it your responsibility to know where it's happening. Your kids must get to start seeing productions that are happening around the area. The churches have a lot of community centers and youth programs that are putting on shows, are putting on productions that your children should be able to go and experience to see. Because we need to encourage them to start creating that repository for ourselves of our culture, especially since it's so diverse and it's so different. What I would like to work on, because my time is up, what I would like to work for in the future is I would like to advocate for this sector to not be treated as a charity base, but to be treated as a business. For everyone who is in it to recognize that for me to become part of this, I need to know I can make money out of it. I can live out of it. So that I was talking to the lady here from MENA who was saying that when her child wanted to become an artist, she said, go and get a real job. But that it is a real job. And that it is making, and it's the same as sports, it's making a great living out of it. And that I hope that from this, especially with my new job, I'll be able to advocate for it, to become richer, to become stronger, to become more of a window for us, and not just as something that we say it's a nice thing to have. So thank you. I welcome questions.
Marcus, the background of working at the Birchwood Hotel and also at working for the CEO or the owner of Soweto Hotel, they have a monthly jazz session. But it was not only jazz artists, it was new up-and-coming, it was a showcase, an opportunity for up-and-coming artists to be introduced to the public, and was a great forum for those up-and-coming artists to come out and show their talents. So that is a great opportunity for businesses and people to embrace all the different artists. So at Soweto Hotel, they have a lounge called Jazz Maniacs, and it comes from the history of black artists in Soweto. And They used to have monthly jazz there as well, but it's now died down. So I was wondering if there was an opportunity to revitalize something like that, and bring artists to showcase and sing in that environment, get people to pay for a ticket, come and listen to them. And so my question is, what exposure, what opportunities do young upcoming artists get to showcase and sing? Are there lots of opportunities for them, or not?
I think it's a good question. There are opportunities, but the opportunities are very similar to when someone wants to sell bikes. If you want to sell bikes, you don't go to the government and say, give me a space for me to sell bikes. You take the bike and you find a spot to sell it. But then also the great thing about the arts and culture space is that there's a lot of theatres, there's a lot of community halls, there's a lot of great groups of people that are always constantly trying to make, and small little spaces like the platform in Johannesburg, there's the Station Theatre that give young people who don't necessarily have a lot of money to do something an opportunity to come and do it in there. But what I would like people to do is to stop thinking like that. Is I would like them to start thinking that the same way that with the analogy of the bike. If you want to sell a bike, you're going to stand in a corner because you know that's where you're going to be seen the most. So if you want to be a musician or a performer, or you want to sell your art, you shouldn't be looking for someone else to create the space for you. You should be able to find it. I get a lot of questions about young people saying when they graduate, and they call me family members, so-and-so is graduating, so what can you do for them? I said, if they studied whatever it is, art form, then they should know where to go. Because part of them being at the university or at the institution is that you also get to learn where you can spread your wings. So I'm a little bit more about go and do it yourself kind of man.
Thank you very much. I think your presentation re-emphasized the fact that culture is about knowing where you come from and why is the situation the way it is now. I came across an article that reinforces what you've just said in terms of where we come from. It was a presentation in British Parliament in 1835 by Lord Macaulay. He says, I've traveled across the length and breadth of Africa, and I've not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country, such high moral values, people of such caliber that I do not think would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage. And therefore, I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture, for if the Africans think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation. Exactly what you have said. So one thing that we need to re-emphasize also is when you say we must look at our cultural activities as business. Because for a long time, people are depending on being employed, not self-employed. And the issue of self-reliance will not be achieved if we take our children to school and prepare them to be employed. as we speak now, my daughter has grouped young little girls of her age, and then they've taken a paint container. They are using it as a drum, and then they've made some sticks and they are doing drum majorettes. So the question you were asking, if people are performing, what message are they transmitting? What message are they giving to us? I discovered that people are demonstrating their dances through formal musical instruments. Now I saw her dancing the current modern Afro-pop dance, but using the drum majorettes. So, but the question I want to ask you, through the trust or through your experience, how do you go down to the street, down to the street, to identify that talent and to support it? Because as it is now, I'm in big trouble. He's saying that we are achieving a momentum now. I don't want to lose these children. Can you buy me the drums? Can you buy me the uniforms? So yeah, maybe we're going to try to do that, but I'm sure in the future they will need some support.